hardly anyone thinks about spiritual enrichment. How about the soul? How will you nourish your soul? Is it enough that we offer our puja part in temples? Are you truly nourished? And what is a nourishment of a soul? We all have experienced what this means through ancient yogic methods, through pranahuti, prana she prana. Prana feeds on another prana, not in sacrificial way. But a yogi of caliber can transmit the essence of prana and make us experience. So the system itself is not just a make-believe system or based on faith, but it's actually on experiencing this nourishment of a soul and how one changes from inside out. Somehow, some of us are led to believe that it's only sufficient to look after the soul, look after our minds, but many of us ignore the health plan. Though our system highly advocates asanas, mild exercises, pranayamas, yet many of us don't find time. They just meditate in the morning. Daaji Maharaj has written, if you refer to reality at dawn, that though we begin with dharana, dhyana and samadhi, we catch up with the other angas of Ashtanga Yoga, yama, niyama, pranayama, asana, pratyahara, those 5 steps later on. Unless one meditates and develops discriminating faculty, viveka, we cannot appreciate yama and niyama. Yama and niyama are all about what not to do and what to do the most. That's all there is. A person who meditates can appreciate especially the voice of conscience. Voice of conscience often says, don't do this. And unless one has the courage to follow one's conscience, one cannot attain reality, higher level of consciousness or God realization, or even small things like liberation or moksha. Health is very critical. We have all seen how much I suffer with vertigo. Little carelessness in my earlier days of life, working 24/7, not paying any attention to physical health, right timing for food, etc. So with that in mind, we have developed a very specific age-dependent asanas and pranayams and mudras, as well as if you really fall sick, unfortunately, and since our village, Kanha village, and many surrounding villages are also deprived from having modern medical facilities, we are going to inaugurate such a facility in the presence of our Honorable Health Minister of Telangana State. This will be a beginning. This is just a start. Most of the gadgets, equipments we had imported from United States. A lot of donors, contributors, they have given us generously something which even many high-end hospitals, for example, Apollo, would not even have such things. And my dream is to make this Kanha Medical Center as a destination from world over as we move on. with healthcare. Not only spiritual well-being, but people who are suffering, though hand to mouth, they don't have money. Many diagnostic tests which are done without any reason. Such honest approach will be adopted here. This is just a beginning, as I say. Moreover, to prevention of any disease or unease and centering oneself. So what is swasthya actually? I am fascinated by the definition in Sanskrit of swasthya. Swa means the self. Sthya means one who is settled within the self. You may have very fine physical health, but if you are not centered within yourself, focused within yourself, to that Atman we call, then you are still not enjoying good health. You may be physically fit, 120, 80, you're systolic and diastolic, oxygen saturation 98, but that's not enough. For a good health, one must be centered. His mind, his heart must be driven towards the Antaryami who is dwelling within us. Unfortunately, we keep looking for this Antaryamin as if he's external Yamin or outer Yamin. It's okay for children. But how long will you carry stencils and write alphabets with stencils? Would you use stencils even in college? People will laugh at us. All these external things which we have inherited, dogmas and beliefs from our parents and grandparents, they are good. They are there to educate us that there is something like God. But can I experience godliness outside or inside? Do you enjoy food, the taste, just because somebody eats the taste? That food, will your stomach be full? We relegate our puja, worship, in the hands of third parties, surrogated. Puja is nowadays surrogated in the hands of Brahmins. I have a lot of respect for Brahmins. Please don't misunderstand me. But would you send your wife with somebody on honeymoon? I'm speaking blunt. If you cannot love directly and delegate your puja in the hands of somebody else, it is as bad, perhaps worse, than sending somebody on your behalf, your wife, for an honeymoon. So stop this nonsense. When are you ever going to awaken yourself? Sorry, I'm divulging a bit here and there. Important announcements for about upcoming celebration, and there will be almost 500,000 visitors will be here from 29th of April to 1st of May from world over. Our ashram has become very big. It has become very difficult, even for myself, to find. Let us see, if somebody says, go and attend a program in a pottery class or a music class, or where the Gitopadesh is being conducted, or medical center is there, or the canteen is there, it's difficult to find. And I know once in Manapakkam ashram in Chennai, I was walking around alone at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I found one elderly gentleman coming out of the toilet, crying like a baby. I said, what happened, uncle? He said, Bete, I forgot how to go back to where the bed is. In such a big campus, it becomes difficult to find where you generally sleep, the allotted bed. He said, I don't even know where the building is. Then from the name, we checked where he should be accommodated, and we backtracked and say, okay, and we dropped him. This place is much more bigger, too complex for anyone. Even if you are staying here, you find it difficult. So in order to solve this problem to a greater extent, we have developed one app. Almost everyone carries smartphones. So before you come here to these premises, we have only 1 week, rather only 5 days. Some of you may be traveling from your village, trying to catch a train to come here. But on your way, download this app. It's Heart in Tune, no? It's Heart in Tune. And there we'll have all this. Any programs going on in some tents, how to go from where you are, because it will identify your present location and your desired location. It will guide you how to walk to that place. So kindly download this, and some of you who may not use phone or may not have smartphone, we'll have volunteers everywhere whom you can ask how to proceed. They will walk with you. They will be available 24/7. Okay. This Heartfulness Wellness Center will have many therapies, many therapies which are perhaps not known to many doctors also. Allopathy is well known, Ayurveda is well known, homeopathy, Unani, all those things are well known. But many things, some of which are, with which we are unfamiliar. For example, polarity. Polarity is excellent for patients with anxiety, depression, and sleep disorders. I have used it myself. I do find some nights when I cannot sleep, though we meditate day in and day out, but the purpose of meditation is not to put you to sleep. So we don't use meditation. Anyway, whenever I have undergone this polarity, within 2 minutes or 3 minutes, I go to sleep. Earlier, when I could not sleep at night during my business days, I would toss and turn 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, no sleep. Then finally I would request my wife, give me a sitting. Give me a sitting means you all know, give me a meditation session. I would remain lie down in my bed. She would be sitting there and give me a sitting. And in a few seconds I would be gone. So sleep disorders through polarity as well as meditation. Many people say we should not abuse. It's okay. Babuji says, when we meditate lying down in the bed, unfortunate thing that can happen is that you might go to sleep. But we want to sleep. So lie down and meditate. Or call someone to give you a sitting so that it can become very easy for you. So many people who have sleep disorders, they need not be our abhyasis. They need not be the members of this great mission, Sri Ramchandra mission. But they are most welcome. They can learn this polarity, and through this polarity, also quantum healing is another great approach to many incurable diseases. It is not that they're going to cure completely, but it will give a lot of relief. In many cases, you get completely cured as well. But all these things that we are going to offer, it is not going to be a substitute for our main treatment like allopathy or Ayurveda or homeopathy. We are not at crossroads with the traditional system. If your doctor has prescribed some medication, go ahead with it. But on top of it, try this out and see if that can help us. I wish also that with so many modern as well as ancient medical approach, Telangana can become a health hub for the world. See. Under the leadership of our Chief Minister, KCR Garu, the state has achieved many milestones. He cannot achieve it alone without the help of many who are supporting his dreams for fulfillment. And we have indirectly worked parallel to his vision, independent of learning from him. Somehow, our vision has collided in a good way. For example, Rao Garu's dream of making Telangana greenest state of India, Harita Haram project. We are all familiar, but I became familiar only when we started Harita Haram here. And then when one of the administrators, IAS officer, forest officer rather, she came here and saw what we were doing. She said, you guys deserve Harita Haram award. So since then, we have been at the threshold of this. We have been winning year after year, number one position in Telangana. See. In Mehboob district also, our efforts were there to make the forest greener and make it a place for a visit. It becomes a tourist attraction. Many dreams can be fulfilled as far as forests are concerned. And perhaps, I don't have a good statistics, but perhaps, maybe I'm wrong, perhaps Telangana enjoys the largest portions of forest land in India, if not number one, number two. But it has the largest parcels. Unfortunately, many are having only limited species, very limited, maybe 2 or 3 varieties. We can, through the help of our volunteers, we can have a unique forest structure. Each section of a forest, let us say if we have 5,000 acres of forest, we can have 200 acres divided in various forests. For example, when you have asthma, breathing problem, you can walk in the forest with special species that will help you breathe better. If you have tuberculosis, what sort of plants you should rest under so that it can help you cure tuberculosis? Skin disorders, what sort of plants you should be affiliated with, associated with. We are not destroying the forests. We are only adding more and more trees. Once in my childhood, I read a book by James Allen, As a Man Thinketh. And he describes it so well that when seeds are thrown in jungle, through birds and wind, forest grows. It is unplanned growth. Things everywhere, not well planned. It looks nice, green, but it is purposeless. Except for oxygen, you don't get much. Our human interference in a positive way, we can plant seeds in a very systematic way. What can grow here, what should not grow there. So here, special medicinal plants can be grown in groups. So the forest itself can become a healing garden. Rather than a forest, it becomes a massive healing garden, 5,000 acre big. You can imagine, this Kanha is 1,000 acre. Imagine what can happen when you have 5,000 acres. It will be stunningly beautiful. Even simple things like imagine Tulsi forest. Can you imagine Tulsi forest? In those 200 acres, only Tulsi fragrance is there. What will happen to your flu? Would you get flu? There are, these new brides, they're wearing those flowers, especially those white ones. And they used to have those green leaves also, called marjoram. I don't know what they call in Telugu. Marua. Huh? Marua. That fragrance is excellent for the brain development of children. So, if the school children can make a tour of this place and spend weekends, it will have excellent effect on their brains. And when schools also make a tour of all these places, children will be amazed. So we have a lot to do in this state. We can all come together. We can start a program which will be unique in the world. No one has done this so far. All graduates, before they are given degrees, maybe we should make it compulsory for them, plant 2 medicinal plants. Only then you get a degree. Something of that sort can be encouraged. Anything I have missed out, Sanjay Bhai? Huh? Nothing, okay. Now, you all remain seated here. I don't want a crowd there and raising dust. Honorable Health Minister, Shri RSG, will be now opening the space, Kanha Medical Center. Will be inaugurating that place, and we pray that our association, our partnership will only grow in the future. Thank you all, and you may pray that such individuals, this is not his first visit. He visits us often and he's very dear to us. He's a very quiet person, centered within himself. And may many politicians become like him, and may his life also be long in serving the state and our country. Thank you.